Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
There's a few trends coming in the automotive marketplace that kind of worry me. And one of them is, of course, the subscription model on cars. In case you're wondering, one of the other ones is when the car companies start gathering the data on your driving habits and so on and start selling that to third parties. That's coming also. But we'll talk about that on another day. I recently saw an article about one car company actually announcing that they're going to start doing that. But like I said, another day. Right now we're talking about the subscription model because I talked about this before. Both Jonathan and Nathan sent me this note, along with Jonathan saying, hey, Steve, it's not happening again. He's joking because every time I mention about the subscription model in cars, I get people from all walks of life saying, Steve, that's not happening. It's just literally not happening. You fell for it again. And well, BMW now is doubling up on paid subscriptions in the USA, and they're going to charge $105 a year for remote engine start, and that's from carscoops.com. Brad Anderson wrote this. So apparently he thinks that BMW is doing it, and so do a lot of other people who are familiar with what BMW puts on their websites. So remote engine start and driving assistant plus are now available through BMW's subscription service, and other car companies are doing this. BMW is expanding the number of feature subscriptions it is offering in the US. And by the way, some car companies have announced rolling this out in other parts of the world. So it can be that they're testing it to see how well it works, primarily with whether or not customers will pay for it. BMW has revealed that 5 vehicle features are now available through its subscription service, consisting of remote engine start, drive recorder, traffic camera, driving assistance plus with stop and go, and parking assistant professional. Most of these features are available through either a 1-month, 1-year, or 3-year subscription, or can be purchased outright for a one-time fee. Now, Motor Authority reached out to BMW USA and found that the remote engine start costs $10 a month, $105 for a year, $250 for 3 years, or can be purchased for $330 for the life of the vehicle. And so that right there means that there's going to be down the road cars out there on the used car market where you're going to wonder, does this car have this feature? Because looking at it, it seems like it does. But if the original owner paid the $330, it's there. If the original owner subscribed but didn't pay the $330, it's not there. So you got to figure that stuff out. As for the driver recorder, it's available for $39 1 year, $99 for 3, and $149 for a one-time payment, which apparently would last the life of the vehicle. Driving Assistant Plus with Stop and Go can be added for $20 1 month, $210 for a year, $580 for 3 years, and $950 with a one-time payment. That's Driver Assistant Plus with Stop and Go. As for Parking Assistant Professional, it's available for $5 for a month, $50 for a year, $130 for 3 years, or a one-time fee of $220. Again, something else that could be on the car that you wouldn't know necessarily by looking at it. Now, BMW's traffic camera feature cannot be purchased outright and is only available through an annual subscription. It warns drivers about fixed and mobile speed cameras. Car and Driver first became aware of BMW's new subscription offerings while testing a 2023 X1. It's unclear if BMW intends on growing the number of feature subscriptions it offers, but it does have a wider array of subscriptions in other markets. In Australia, for example, front seat heating, steering wheel heating, parking assistant professional, real-time traffic information, adaptive M suspension, BMW driver recorder, remote engine start, Apple CarPlay, and USB map update are available through subscriptions. And again, that's in Australia. So things are different from market to market. So these stories are evolving over time. And buried inside that story, I saw a reference to an earlier story, also from Car Scoops. This one written by Chris Chilton, that said that BMW's ordered with heated seats and other luxury options from the factory won't need a subscription. So it appears that there may be a distinction between things that involve hardware versus software over-the-air services. So if you buy the heated seats and all of the elements of the heated seats are there, it might be that they're saying, okay, well, you paid for that, you can use it. But there had been talk of them making it a subscription service and saying, well, you didn't really buy the heated seats separately. They're simply built into the car because we build them into all the cars. And if you want to use them, you didn't have to pay the service. So BMW's moved to quash confusion over its new subscription services, and this is from the earlier article, explaining that any equipment ordered and paid for in full when the car was new will remain active and free to use for the life of the vehicle. The clarification follows the news that in markets like South Korea and UK, buyers are now able to digitally retrofit options by signing up to a subscription that grants access to equipment fitted to the car from the factory but not activated. And some of this equipment, like the heated seats, can be trialed for a month at no charge, after which time drivers have the option to go back to having a cold rear end or sign up to pay monthly, etc., for 1 month, 1 year, and all that. So there is going to be some gray areas in there because the remote start, I assume, does use stuff that's built into the car. And if they're charging you to use that, well, presumably when you bought the car, the remote start equipment was in it, and you paid for that when you bought the car. And they're going to say, well, we put that in all the cars, and if you want to use it, you got to pay us. And the weird part about this is I think there is going to continue to be a consumer backlash on this. People are not going to like this. But if you want to buy a BMW, it's what you got to do. And so there are going to be people out there who say, well, I disagree with it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And so there's going to be a period of time, because I think eventually, if they can do this and get away with it, meaning that enough people do it to where it's worth their doing, I think that all of the car companies will eventually go this way. Because they're going to say, look, we're leaving money on the table. Other companies are making money by charging a monthly fee for remote start. And so I think what's going to happen is, eventually, all of the car companies are going to be doing this. But until that happens, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some people out there who say, you know something, as a matter of principle, I'm not going to pay a monthly fee for a remote start. And here's the weird thing. I've got remote start on one of my vehicles. I never use it. You know something? I know people who use the remote starts. I just don't use it. And so if they had put it on my vehicle and I didn't pay for it, and you said, Steve, do you want to pay for the remote start? I said, no, I never use it. But if you said, but you understand that you did pay for that, obviously, because it got built and put on your car, and when they're figuring out how much to charge people for the car, they charge what it's based on, what they put into it. That's going to be one of the factors that goes into that equation. So you obviously did pay for that. Presumably you paid for it, you own it, but you just simply can't use it because you need them to activate it in something like that. And so I think there will get some, there'll be some people who push back on that. Whether it be enough to make a dent in this, I don't know. So I suspect that 20 years from now, the cars we're all driving will be things that you can buy, but you'll have some massive monthly payment for the subscription, or you can pay the subscriptions in advance for years and years and years. And then meanwhile, all the data they're gathering on you will get sold also. And so they're going to be going more to a social media parallel than anything else, because they're going to be able to sell the information about where you drive and make money doing that also. So we're heading into a brave new world when it comes to automobiles, and I do not like this idea at all, but it's coming. And for those who refuse to believe it's coming, that's fine. You can choose not to believe. But I think at this point it's pretty clear that it is coming. So this story from carscoops.com was written by Brad Anderson, and Jonathan and Nathan both sent it. BMW doubles up on paid subscriptions in the USA, charging $105 a year for remote engine start, among other things. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. One advantage of talking to yourself is that at least somebody's listening.